All right.
Right.
Welcome back to another week. Nick's let me do the intro. That's because I came up with the topic. So, Nick, back in the day, when a fast car went by and you weren't looking, could you recognize it? You
So,
know what I mean? Like,
well,
let's say
explain. So,
you're you're in the parking lot, you're facing the wrong way, and a sports car goes down the road. Could you tell?
ooh, it,
Usually from the noise.
well, okay, from the noise, I could probably get it pretty close.
Right. You wouldn't
Because
have
at
to tell
least, at
what the
least,
car was. Could you just tell it was a sports car or a nice car?
and are you saying like sports car, like a Lamborghini type? Are we talking like that, or more like a Corvette? Or because I mean,
Corvette
those
will
have
work.
different,
Period.
they have
Just
different
anything that's got
sounds.
some oomph. What I'm
Yeah,
getting at, I
because
guess, maybe this was a terrible way to introduce this, but back when we were growing up, fast cars, any fast car, when you stepped on the accelerator, made a noise that I think most of us find appealing.
yes, okay,
And
I
that
know. Okay,
was
I see what you're trying to say. So yes, I can tell a difference between, say, like a Lamborghini Ferrari, because the engine, because it has that dual overhead cam. I can tell the difference. I can
right.
tell
And
if
it
it's a
makes it
Corvette or Mustang. I can tell just by kind of listening to the exhaust. Yes, I agree. I can tell the difference.
right.
Do I know exactly what it is? No, but I can go. What is that?
You can tell like there's a noise that'll make you turn your head though. Like
Yes,
it
for
used to
sure.
be growing up, a fast car, you could tell it was a fast car by the noise it made. Like
Even just by just kind of
you'd hear
barely
that
idling, you could tell.
vroom, or
Yes.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, because that's the way it was. Those fast cars made a specific, not
Yep.
specific, but they made a noise. Now, today, we have a couple of fast cars that don't make any noise. Things have
Right.
changed. So we've got this Tesla Plaid. If one were to accelerate off the line, and once again, you're in the parking lot, you're walking to your car, the road's
Okay.
there. One was to jet off the line, you probably wouldn't even notice it, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
Times
So
have changed.
the Challenger tried to fix that, which their sales, nobody wants it. But they did the electric one, and it was funny because I was at the car show and they were showing it off, and they're like, "Okay, now step on the gas and rev it." And it was a speaker. You're making a noise. I'm like,
Yep,
oh,
yep,
everybody's
that's
like, this is
exactly where I'm going at,
stupid.
is more and more EVs now. I don't know exactly which ones, but like Mercedes and stuff, I think I saw, they're trying to find a way to mimic and pipe
Yeah.
that sound that we're used to,
Yep.
literally just for appeal, right?
Yep.
To
That
bring
that
back
that's
nostalgia
right.
of ooh, that's a fast car. I want to turn my head and look. And I guess where I've been beating around the bush forever, so I kind of suck at this. Is why you do the intros. Uh, what I'm getting at too is the first question is it necessary? We all like it. Like I admit, I love
I
hearing
love it. I
a
love.
European
Yeah.
sports car, a good muscle car.
We
I
all love
love
it.
it. But are we so slow to adapt to that, or is there an ego possibly at play to where we want to be heard when we now have these nice, expensive, fast cars? And so these car companies are trying to find a way to basically make car noise, make,
Yeah.
sound pollution
Well,
that'll still will register in our brain that, ooh, there's a fast car.
here's my question. Okay, you go to NASCAR, and you got that noise just going around,
Wear
and now
headphones and
just
go to NASCAR.
yeah. Okay, so now let's just say NASCAR went all electric. Boy, it'd be like watching golf on TV.
Have you ever
you
watched
know?
Formula E? Have you ever watched Formula E?
No, I have not.
Okay. We watch Formula E once in a while, where we watch quite a bit of racing. You can hear them actually, and is it quieter? Definitely. It's not the same as like in F1, even though the cars are very, very quick, or in F2. But you do hear them, and it's more of that. I don't know. It's different, but it's not unappealing because you can still hear the acceleration from them. It's just more of a high pitched like whine almost
Yeah.
because of the electric engines whining or winding up so fast or whatever. You obviously don't hear the battery. But you do hear them. It's a quieter experience, but you do hear them. And I'll be honest, I mean, I think my wife is actually a bigger Formula E fan than I am. I'm old school. I like F1. But sh- watching and listening to it enough, I'm growing to like it. And I'm also I we drive an EV. It's not a Tesla. It's not a fast EV. I mean, all EVs are kind of quick just by default. Once again, just the way they are. We're not going to go into details. But the more I drive that EV, the more I enjoy, I can hear it a little bit. Once again, it's not a lot, but I can hear it a little bit. The more and more I'm growing accustomed to that sound. And now when I hear a loud car go down the road, like my brain is slowly flipping to where I don't want to hear that noise. And I used to love hearing a sports car engine rev, you know. And
So
I'm not
okay,
still
here,
against it, but it's definitely my mindset's changing. I'm adapting.
yeah. So and here's one argument because my Corvette has the side pipes. It's very loud.
Very loud.
There's yeah, it is very loud. There's one reason that I mean, it might sound a little silly in a way. I mean, there's multiple reasons for it, but the kind of the main reason I did it is it's a smaller car than people think. Especially nowadays, we've talked about this. Cars are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. People don't see me. Yeah, so if I have a loud vehicle, they hear me, and they're more than likely not going to wreck into me, by just running me over, taking a turn,
Sure.
that was kind of the main reason Harley drivers used to, make their Harleys louder. It was because of that noise.
Sure.
It would because they're a small vehicle. It's a small bike. And I've seen that a lot with the say noise saves lives basically, for like I said, smaller cars. Now these big ass trucks, that
They're just as loud.
yeah, they're just as loud and everything. You know, I don't get me wrong, I love the sound of it, the exhaust and everything.
Yep.
But that's the main reason I have a loud exhaust is
Yeah.
for that.
And that makes
And
sense.
there's multiple reasons, but
I'm not anti, like, I still like a good sound of a sports car. I'm just finding that I'm starting to enjoy the silence more and more that comes with
it's
it.
just
You know
yeah,
what I
I think
mean?
that's just getting older.
And to where I think I would actually be if I were to buy another EV and all of a sudden it's piping that loud noise, I'd be like, how the hell do I shut that off? So,
Yeah,
and
I
at
think it
first I
depends
used
per
to think it
car.
was weird. Anyway, go ahead, right?
I think it's per car. Because if you have a little Prius and it sounds really loud like my vet, well, then you're gonna be like going, "What the hell's that?" You know what I'm, I think it's per car. I don't know. It has to match the car.
Well, yeah,
I just
yeah. Well,
I can't
let's go ahead and
see.
say that. Like,
I
okay, if I bought a European sports car with a combustion engine, I want it to sound like a European sports car with a combustion engine, you know?
right.
But if I bought a European sports car that's an EV, my brain is to where I already know it's an EV. The only thing I want to hear is that a little electric whir, that it makes that whir that you can barely
Yeah,
hear.
yeah,
And my brain is already adjusted to where I don't even then it can look like a freaking Porsche, but if I know it's EV and it's got an EV badge on it, I want the silence. And I don't know why, but obviously I'm in the minority because manufacturers are they're going so far as they're hiring musicians to try to mimic the car noise
right.
to fit right, you know. And so I'm in the minority there, but it feels weird that we are not overall that's such a big selling point in some sort that they have to invest that kind of money into that. And so I was kind of curious what your take was. And I obviously I think I understand it. You're for the noise because well you like it, but and that's not a negative whatsoever.
Yeah.
It's just
So here's kind of a good example. So
yeah,
last weekend we went to get breakfast, and where I live, there are some really nice fancy cars. But anyway, there was a Maserati M20. It's their sports car version.
Yeah.
I've never seen one in my life. I was like, whoa, look at that. So I'm just kind of scoping it out, and I was hoping I could actually hear it and leave. But of course, we were eating breakfast and stuff. But
Sure.
I just wanted to hear what it sounded
Yeah.
like, you know.
Yep. Yeah, and
And
I think that's a normal thing. Like I do. Like I said, I think maybe it's a me getting old thing, it's the turn it down, type stuff that's
yeah,
going on as I get older. But I'm starting to enjoy the silence to where I saw this article. I'm like, I see why. I don't think I'm for that.
yeah,
And why?
and it's the same thing with your stereo. I used to have like the big subwoofers and all that, and and I still kind of do, but I don't turn it up. I don't
Yeah.
crank it to where I
Yeah,
like the clarity of it, but I don't like I just don't crank it up
no,
anymore.
mine's not very loud. I'll be honest. This is a sign I'm getting old. Half the
Yeah,
time now in my car it's an audiobook. So there
yeah,
you go.
exactly. It's yeah.
But
I don't really listen to music much anymore.
and here's
In the
another thought
car.
though with that. And I don't know, we're out of time. I'm not keeping track, so hopefully you are, but more and more I'll be driving and I see people with earbuds or
Yeah,
headphones
yeah.
on. And one, I thought that was illegal. I guess I'm wrong, or nobody cares to enforce it because
State by
the
state.
idea is you're supposed to be able to hear things going on, like
Yep.
cop cars, whatever coming up, sirens, etc. But to where, in a way, like if I've got my ears plugs already, basically, and let's be honest, like AirPods, I got some right here. They block a decent amount of noise. Then it almost cancels out, and I'm not making arguing against your car, but it cancels out that whole where you're trying to make your car loud to be heard, just in case they can hear you. It almost can cancel that out, and then so once again, my thought process is, well, everybody's just clogging their ears anyways, and then playing something else really loud. Why would we? Why do we need to add that sound? And I get it, but that was my thought process. Is
Yeah,
I'm all
yeah,
over the
yeah,
place with
and
this.
that, yeah, no, but that's another thing, you know. That's why, like right now, I mean, I got the earpiece too, but I only got one in.
Yeah,
That's just me because I like to hear everything. At least at work, we're not supposed to have earpieces in at all. Even on the workroom floor or driving or even out on the street, where whatever, because we have to be aware of our surroundings. And I tell people not to have an earpiece in when they're, because work for the post office. If you're delivering mail, to not be on the phone, not talking. When customers come up, we have a lot of people that are kind of stalking you out, and we get robbed more often than people think. Um,
really.
oh yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
it
and
doesn't fit the theme,
so
but I would love to hear more. Not right now, but
yeah, yeah. But that's a problem. Not necessarily where I live. I did because I deliver mail in the little bit nicer neighborhood, but just North Las Vegas, and that it happens quite a bit. And we've actually, or there was actually a guy out of my office. They stole his truck right from beneath or behind him. He left it running. Okay, that was his fault. He shouldn't have left the keys in, and he left it running. And so the guy just hopped in right behind him as he was delivering at the mailbox. He went right behind him, got in the truck, and drove off and stole all his mail and everything.
wow.
Yeah.
That guy, that's a
So,
federal offense, right? That guy going to
oh yeah,
prison.
oh yeah, it's a big time. Yep.
Anyway,
Well, I
I
don't, I don't know I don't know what happens after that, but
sure.
that's postal inspector stuff. They
So
don't tell you what happens.
quite or interested on this. So I run. You guys can't tell right now because I've been lazy all summer. Um, and in a lot of like actual official races, like marathons, half marathons, and stuff, a lot of them don't allow things to cover your ears too, for same
Right.
reason. It's safety, right? You got to hear people coming up on you, not because they're gonna mug you or whatever, but people passing. You don't want collisions. Sometimes you run along a road that they couldn't close, things like that. So they're outlawed too. And I have an open. They're called open ear buds. So they kind of wrap around and they kind of just have like little speakers in the front. So you can hear them still, but your
Yeah, yeah,
ears are open. Are those what? And this isn't a car question at all. This is a mailman or a postman
yeah.
question, but are those outlawed as well?
No, we can have like if my phone's on speaker, you can have that.
Oh,
And
okay.
you can have, yeah. But you can't have anything. They don't want anything actually around your ear, near your ear, or anything like that.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, I
So,
sometimes I admit with my open earbud, I drive with it on, not because I'm actually listening something. I have a numb ear on one side because of nerve damage, and I forget I have it on even though nothing's playing. And then like
yeah.
I'll get home and like 3 hours later, I'll like take off my shirt or whatever, shower, and like I'll drop on the phone like, oh, I guess I had that on all day. But so I probably appear guilty of wearing something as well when I drive, but uh, it's what it is, and maybe
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
try to give
So
people the benefit of the doubt, but
so back to our original question. If you have your earbuds in, you can't hear these beautiful engines of sport cars
no,
go by.
no. So then why
So
pipe the noise, right? Why pipe the noise?
well, no, I'm just saying, why wear earbuds?
Don't wear your earbuds. Hear the beautiful noise. The beautiful noise they're trying to recreate for you. Let these
Yes.
artists be heard
Right.
with their engine noises.
All right, we'll leave it off there because we went over, but
We did.
yeah,
And,
but that
and
was kind of fun. That was fun.
yep, and Nick will do the next one because once again, my intro I thought it was smooth. Obviously it was not. So we'll turn that back over to him.
It was my brain couldn't quite compute what we were trying to figure
That's
out
all
what I
right.
was talking about.
I completely came in random. Maybe I should have given him a hint.
And would just for you guys out there, what we've kind of found out is if we don't tell the other person what we're going to talk about, it makes it more fun, and we're not really overthinking it, because we want this channel to just be fun and lighthearted. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I enjoy the surprise of what's he gonna bring up now, like
right,
last
right.
week's.
Exactly.
So
So
um
okay, enough with that. So anyway, what do you guys think? Loud or not? You know,
do you want
what do you?
and also do you
Yeah,
want loud on your EV? Let's make it a two-part question. Loud or not, but also on your EV, do you want it to sound like it's not an EV? That's where I'm curious.
right. Okay, till next time.
Till next time. Remember everybody, buckle up.